Hello and welcome to the Wine Educate podcast. This is episode 103. I am your host, Joanne Close. Okay, onward with Germany. I mentioned last week that I was going to cover the VDP in today's episode, but in my giddy excitement to talk about some of my favorite topics, I realized I have already discussed the VDP in episode 64. So go back and have a listen to that to get your fill of what the VDP is, what it's doing, all the good things. But what I did realize is that we need to do a nice level 2 overview of Germany, and specifically looking at the 3 wine regions that you need to know. First, a little refresher about the latitude in which wine grows. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll have flashbacks to the slide for your level 1 class. Remember that wine grows both in the northern and southern hemisphere between the latitudes of 30 and 50. When we talk about Germany, we are pushing the limits. We are at the tippy top of this boundary because we are about 47 to 51 degrees latitude up here in Germany. This is firmly cool climate wine country. I like to put latitude in a bit of perspective. 1 degree of latitude is about 69 miles from its next degree. So that's 111 kilometers. It's a manageable distance. However, it's enough of a distance to have a noticeable climate change. I like you to put that in your brain when we talk about latitude. The wine regions in Germany are clustered towards the southern western part of the country. It's about 200 miles from north to south, about a 4 to 5 hour drive across these regions. I'll tell you a little story to put these things in perspective. On my first visit to Germany many moons ago, I was a little broke, so I rented a Mini Cooper. We are in the land of Mercedes, right? You see so many Mercedes, BMWs zipping around on the Autobahn. Not so many Mini Coopers. Turns out there is no speed limit on the Autobahn. You can go as fast as you like, and indeed, if you're going like 70 or 80, you are slow. Okay, you are too slow. And the Mercedes behind you is going to flash its light at you. We were zipping around Germany so much and covering so much distance in our tiny little Mini Cooper that would shake like crazy when we went past 80 miles per hour that we ran out of gas. So I ran out of gas on the Autobahn, which was memorable. Luckily, it's Germany and they're really well organized. So there was a little box that you go to and you press the button and in your sad English say, "I'm out of gas." And then 20 minutes later, a man in an orange vest came and rescued us. Take it from me that if you are to go to Germany, you need to rent a nicer car than a Mini Cooper. Okay. Total vineyard area. In Germany, there's about 100,000 hectares under vine. To put this in perspective, within France, there's almost 800,000 hectares planted. So 8 times as much land planted in France than Germany. They are 13 major wine regions here in Germany. For level 2, you need to know 3 of these. And the hero grape here in Germany is, of course, Riesling, with about 23 to 24% of total plantings. So looking at these 3 regions, the Rheingau, Mosel, and Pfalz are the 3 you need to know. Pfalz is by far the larger of the 3, just under 24,000 hectares planted. Then you have the mighty Mosel at around 8,700, and small but historically important is the Rheingau at a little over 3,000 hectares. So say you are going on a little trip to Germany to explore these beautiful wine regions. You would start your trip in Frankfurt. That would be the airport to fly into. It is close to Rheingau and Pfalz, and the Mosel is also easy to get to. Mainly because you've got the beautiful Autobahn. What an amazing concept to have a road with no speed limit. I think in some areas they have actually enforced some speed limits, but in many stretches of this, you can go as fast as you like. So the second time I went to Germany, we rented an Audi, and Jim still talks about this trip. He was the driver. He said it was the best car he's ever had, and I did no driving. I did a lot of napping. And turns out when you're going 160 miles per hour, you sleep like a baby in the back seat. So getting around, to give you some perspective, from the Mosel to Rheingau, about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Rheingau to Pfalz, about an hour and a half. So these wine regions are manageable to get around and visit. Let's look at the Mosel first, because we're going from north to south. Some of the areas in the Mosel really push up against this 51 degrees latitude. It is a very cool climate region. These super steep slopes that all are up against the Mosel River here. The style is known for the light, high acid Rieslings. These are absolutely some of my favorite wines on the planet. The fact that they actually make wine here is nothing short than a miracle. How steep is the Mosel? Slopes can be up to 60 to 70% incline. They are among some of the steepest slopes in the world. A good example is the Bremer Kalmont slope. I have a picture of it if you're watching along on YouTube. Wow, how on earth do they get anything done on this slope? You certainly cannot get a machine on any of these slopes. This is hard work. You have to employ multiple people. It is expensive. It is difficult. To give you an idea of how steep of an incline, so for every 10 feet forward, you're climbing 6 to 7 feet. When I went to Germany and they had us walk up and down these hills, which was challenging, these winemakers, I have supreme respect for them. They were like billy goats just running up and down the hills. You want to get in good shape? Go work harvest in the Mosel. So why do this here? Why go through the trouble? Well, it works. The Mosel works. These steep slopes capture the sunlight. The slate is a darker color, so it retains the heat. So it's another element to help warm these grapes and ripen them. And the river also reflects the light back onto the grapes on the slopes to create these magical wines. What is the style of the Mosel? Very high acidity. These wines often can have residual sugar. And here's the wild thing about it. You can have a wine with 20 to 30 grams of residual sugar. And because that acidity is so high, you don't even notice it. That is the magic of the Mosel. Moving on to the Rheingau, we are at 50 degrees latitude here, slightly warmer than the Mosel. I don't know if warmer is really the word because you're still pretty cold here. Rheingau is a small but mighty wine region. It's historically important. All the vines are planted on these south-facing slopes along the Rhine. And the style of the wines here are typically drier and fuller. All these beautiful little towns along the river. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention something really important that lives in this wine region, and that is the Geisenheim. The Geisenheim is now a university. It was founded in 1872 as an agricultural research center. I think its main focus was studying apples. It has focused also on wines and vine research, and today is a really important research center and university that focuses on climate change, vine health, sustainable practices, really important in overall wine research. And indeed, it is the birthplace of Müller-Thurgau. The grape was discovered and created here by Mr. Müller. So it has a nice bit of history. The Pfalz. Oh, we're at a balmy 49 degrees latitude here in the Pfalz, so warmer and sunnier. The Pfalz benefits from this effect of having a mountain range to its west, so it falls on the sunny side of the mountain. The wines here are dry, medium-bodied, and have riper flavors. The Mosel may be like white flowers and citrus, whereas the Pfalz, maybe you get a little bit of stone fruit, a bit of peach showing up. As a final comparison for level 2, the Mosel is the coolest. It's very steep. The wines are light and can often be sweeter. In the Rheingau, we have structured, balanced wines that are drier. And in the Pfalz, we have the warmest, and they're dry and these more riper styles. If you want to have a go, I've got a quiz for you in the show notes. So you can check that out. It is a 10-question level 2 quiz on Germany. You can give that a go. And if you want to receive quizzes on a regular basis, you can go to the newsletter. Go to wineeducate.com and you'll see the newsletter sign up button. Oh, all right, friend. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.